All right, welcome to our weekend edition of Holtz. This is where you get to learn a little bit more about who we are as a family, kind of how we operate at home. For those of you who are new to us, we have adopted 11 children.
We have not adopted 11.
Oh, we have 11 children. We have adopted 5, but we have 11 kids, and we have done the whole farm life thing. In this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about the power of healing and animals and how animal therapy has dramatically affected our family. Have you found yourself daydreaming about an idea or business? Are you interested in entrepreneurship? Do you have what it takes? I'm Rick Holtz, husband to my childhood sweetheart, father to 11, homeschool dad, owner of Holtz Leather, Heritage Wedding, Holtz Headwear, and our newest startup, Coco and Loco. In addition, we manufacture our own line of fine leather goods, candles, pottery, millworks, and have our own retail store. We are experts in e-commerce, marketing, and graphic design. We employ over 60 people. Did I mention we're completely self-taught? Follow along and let our family of entrepreneurs show you how to think outside the box. It's time to create and produce instead of consume. All right, guys, we bought a zoo. Coleen and I often joke about how I feel like we bought a zoo. She comments how she's an animal lover and she's married to an animal hater. And all this because I don't like animals in our house. I struggle with the dog hair or just the smell of the dog, or if the dog decides to use the restroom in my house. I think I hit the roof. I used to when I was younger and we were newlyweds. But she's always been an animal lover. I mean, there's stories where she used to bring her pony into our house as a kid, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I can never.
Just as a shock and awe. It's not like I wanted to live with the horse in the
How
house.
old were you when you brought that?
14, 15.
That's too old to be bringing a horse into a house.
I just wanted to surprise my mom.
Oh, I bet. Was she surprised?
Yes, she laughed. My dad didn't think it was so funny.
Is that just the way dads are, I guess? But
you don't really love them outside, though, either. It's not like you go out and...
No, I haven't, and and that's what's crazy now. It's like when people come over to our house, I'm like, yeah, we have a zoo, and we literally do. We have 5 cows, a milk cow, 23 chickens, 2 guineas, 5 turkeys, 2 pigs, 4 dogs that are in the house, a chameleon. Yes, I said a chameleon. A parakeet, a macaw, a rabbit, a pony. And there's talk now about getting a donkey. And I feel like every time I walk into the house, there's another like, daddy. And it's like, anytime my kids use the word daddy, it usually means they want something.
All right,
what do you
want? What do you want?
Oh,
The
yes.
blow is coming.
Yeah, I know it's coming. Another animal. And I'm just like, and for so long, I realized at some point I just had to give up and just be like, you know what, let's just see what happens with this. And I was actually really blown away. And more specifically with adoption, when we brought our Ticos home from Costa Rica, and really more so Evelyn and Gabriella. I think they really have connected with the animals. Everybody has. Kelsey has her milk cow, and her and Jacob every morning go out and they milk the cow. And this morning we woke up and the cow, I look out the window and I see Jacob in a full sprinting down the driveway, and I'm like, what in the world?
He is very
I mean, he
fast.
is so fast. The boy's like lightning. And I'm like, what is he running from or towards? And then all of a sudden I see our milk cow running down the driveway. He's
Towards the longhorns. She was going to get in the pen with the longhorns.
I think she wanted to get warm. It's a cold day today. I think she was looking for some warmth.
They're all girls, so we're not worried about
You had to clarify that.
But I think over the years I've had a major heart change about animals and the power they have to heal. And I think that's really what this episode is about, is the power of animals and healing, and really connecting you to the land.
And I have to say, it helps your heart too. You don't know it yet, but it does.
It helps my heart because I can get really teary-eyed when I see my kids out there and they're loving on an animal, and that kind of breaks
And
me.
you did cry over the cat. Sister?
We're not gonna. I don't know about that, but we have I didn't even put that on here. That's another animal. See, we just keep
think we
having
have
animals.
3
We have
cats.
we have cats.
What happened to the pigs? You guys still have the pigs?
Oh yeah, we still have the pigs.
Okay.
I don't want pigs anymore. I'm not satisfied with pigs. I do
doesn't
not
surprise me.
like them. Like, I built this special pen for our pigs. Like, the guy we bought the pigs from, I was already nervous about pigs, and Faith's like, Dad, I want to buy some pigs and raise pigs, and I'm like, All right, well, we'll try it. I'm pretty much just the yes man now. I'm like, I'm willing to try anything once. And we got these pigs, and this guy's like, listen, man, if you got, and I'm not a, I'm learning the art of farming, and I am starting to really enjoy it now.
So it is good for your heart.
It's good for my heart because I get to connect with my boys. Like, we built the pig pen.
I think it's too early to say that you don't like the pigs because we haven't tasted the pigs.
For you,
just wait until you have the sausage and the bacon and.
So the pig. Not all of our animals are for meat and food, but we do process some of our animals. We have some chickens that we're processing right now, and really it's because Coleen and I and our family has really taken a interest in self-sufficiency. Being self-sufficient, and also the health of our food.
Knowing where your food comes from is important.
And there's something about being connected to the animal, and you value the life of that animal when you take its life, and you realize you're very grateful for that animal when you think about feeding your family. And there's a sense of gratitude that you don't get when you go to the store and you pick out a block of meat. It doesn't feel like you're connected to that animal. Whereas I look at my meat birds every morning when I go out with my boys and we're moving them and feeding them and caring for them. There's a connection to those animals, and it does affect you. So I guess Coleen's more right than I admit. But anyways, pigs. Back to pigs. I don't want pigs. I put those things up there, and we built this. The guy told us, like, listen, get the pigs off the ground. If you get them on the ground, they'll smell horrible, and they'll just be really hard to take care of. So I was like, okay. We built the structure and lifted them off the ground and put them on the. And I don't like it. I just don't like the way that the pigs are. I think I would have been happier having them on the ground.
Yeah, I agree.
But they do smell.
You put them on a pedestal, man. You put them on a pedestal.
I don't necessarily like everybody's. They smell. They do smell, and they create an enormous amount of flies. And I don't like flies. Flies irritate me to death. Like if I'm outside and enjoying a glass of wine out on my porch or my deck or whatever, I don't want to be fighting the fly for my wine or for my food or anything else. Flies irritate me faster than anything. I mean, when you have a farm, flies are an issue.
Yes, but we're going to work on that this year.
Yeah, Coleen's been doing some research into some like wasp or something you sprinkle on them.
Spalding
Labs
yeah.
is what. Anyways, you sprinkle these wasp things on the manure, and supposedly it eats the fly larvae. I don't know. We're learning a lot. We're learning a lot. But back to the healing power of animals, and it's like we came back from Costa Rica, and Evelyn and Gabriella have always kind of palled up and been really close to each other. And we talk a little bit more about this in our adoption episode, our most recent one, where we've been back for 2 years, and you actually get to hear from some of the kids and our adopted children and our biological, and they kind of are telling their story. And I kind of go into how powerful animals have been for Evelyn. And we were just talking to Vivian this past week, and Vivian is our oldest daughter from Costa Rica, and she said Evelyn's a completely different person. She's like, she is so happy. She's just a completely different person, and we've seen that transformation in her life as well. And we, when we first brought her home, you could see she had a lot of anger and a lot of, just kind of maybe even fear from the adoption and the process of it. And, who knows what all their baggage is that they're carrying. I carry my baggage too, and there are things that I have to have as outlets. And animals were a real outlet for her and very powerful healing. I can get really emotional right now just talking about it because it's been life-changing and altering, and I think the whole farm experience for our family has been life-changing and altering. I think it has changed and it has driven us closer together as a family unit. Like we're all brainstorming ideas about the greenhouse we want to build. Like we want to build a greenhouse and grow our own vegetables and our own herbs and our own produce, and it's like, so now we're planning out where to put it on our land, and everybody's working together. The boys are thinking about gathering more rocks for a path, or it's pulled our families so close together having these animals, and it's neat because we all respect each other and we all listen to each other, and we allow everybody to. I came upstairs a couple days ago because we're talking about putting in this greenhouse. This is our new conversation around the house. And I come upstairs, and there's like 6 or 7 papers on our kitchen table, and they're all different drawings of what everybody's imagining this greenhouse to look like. And of course, Kelsey has hers that's just very symmetrical, and it's just beautifully laid out. And I'm like, wow, just so moved by their love for the land and their love for the animals.
And the boys sketched out, and they want a bunker under the greenhouse.
They want a bunker? I haven't heard this.
It's just neat to see the different personalities come out in it.
A bunker, yeah, a hiding room or something. That's so funny.
But I do think that farm life has, you have the joys of the birth of a new cow, or the death of a pony, or just the joys of gathering the eggs and making a meal. And
and that's something we experienced this Christmas. Evelyn and Gabriella were wanting a pony really bad for Christmas. I'm like, that was on her top of the list. Like, I want a pony. And I'm like, a pony's expensive. And so, anyways, somehow Madison, who lives in North Carolina, and there's like all these group family chats that were happening behind my back, and I didn't know it. And all of a sudden, I got a picture of a pony. And it was like, Dad, we found this pony. And of course, I said yes. And I didn't even think that I'm going to have to drive 10 hours to go pick up this pony, because it's where Madison lives in North Carolina. She's at Fort Bragg. And I'm like, I've got to go all the way up to Fort Bragg. So I load up my boys. We drive to Fort Bragg. In the middle of the night, we get there. And I'm trying to get on the base with a horse trailer. And they turned me away. They said, no, you can't come on the base with that trailer. So we had to get real creative. But we ended up getting on the base. I won't tell you how, but we got on the base. And anyways, we picked up these ponies, and I fell in love. They really were the sweetest ponies.
Yes, and not only it started with one pony, and then it they had another pony, so we got that one too.
Yeah, that's how it happens around here at our house, and they always are looking for a way to drop a bomb on Dad, and this is their way, and they do it. And I just
enjoy it though.
It is fun. I mean, I love seeing my family smile, and I love satisfying all of my children. And so we drove up there 10 hours, picked up these 2 ponies, drove them all the way home the next day, put them out in pasture, and surprised our girls the next morning with the ponies. And they were, you ought to have seen it. It was an amazing moment where they were just, they were out there all day long with these ponies, riding the ponies around. They're rideable ponies, and they pull a cart. And then, when was it?
Just a few days
after Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So a few days after Christmas, the sweetest and the most gentle of the ponies died just in the middle of the night. Just died. And that's the thing about farm life, is if you there's a saying that if you have livestock, you have dead stock, and it's just, you get to experience all the emotions of life in a small ecosystem when you're on a farm. And it's like, they were broken. They really were broken. But it was a teaching moment for our kids. We got to teach them that life is full of meetings and partings, and that's very true. And they had their opportunity to meet and experience the joy of that animal, but then we also had to experience the sorrow and the hurt and the pain. But if you without the sorrow and the pain, you don't get to experience the highs of the joys. And so we ended up finding them another pony that's bred. So they're gonna be a mother. Gabriella,
so excited. We're gonna have a baby.
She's running around the house saying they're gonna have a baby now. So we're hopefully gonna have a baby pony in the spring. And
so he's got to make another trip to North Carolina.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out when I'm gonna do that. I might call my dad and see if he wants to make that trip for me. But anyways, that's farm life, and really, I just wanted to emphasize that. The power of animals, and I was wrong, and I think that animals are incredible therapy, and I've seen it over and over. And I encourage you, if you are interested in self-sustaining lifestyle, hobby farming, whatever you want to call it,
just do it. Just try it. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, I think you can definitely overthink it. I was talking to somebody not too long ago talking about chickens. They were getting some chickens, and they were just, you can really overthink it. And we did it too. We did the same thing.
But you guys got animal by animal. It's not like you're like, all right, we've got no animals, we're going to go full farm. It's like, no, it became a farm, And so it's one of those things where you get something little, and then, he can handle a little bit more.
Yeah, Coleen likes to compare it to we're not a pop-up book. We're a build-it-as-you-go type thing. And it's like, I don't know if you remember the old pop-up books when you were a kid. You opened it up and everything popped up at once, and it's like instant farm. It's like, yeah, now we definitely have taken a different approach. Although I feel like we're starting to get warp speed now. Like I think maybe it's because we're building our confidence with our animals and we're having some success, and so we're growing rather rapidly. And right now I'm in the middle of clearing a part of our land for pasture and for more pasture because we got to have pasture. But anyways, like Coleen said, just do it. Go for it. Take the plunge. Take the risk. It's fun as a family. It gets everybody involved. Go buy some chicks. Put a brooder box out. Your kids will be out there just staring at baby chicks all day, and it creates a fresh sense of life around the house. It pulls them away from their electronic devices, the TVs, all the things that zap their creativity. Just get them outside and do it. All right, so if you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to like us, leave comments if you have questions, that type of thing, and we look forward to our next episode. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment below. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Visit us at holtzleather.com if you need a gift for that special someone.